Now, I don't know about you. If I'm on a trip and I'm far from home, Spider-Man, I'm really hoping they don't cancel my passport, but it's happening. Ah, oh, let's get into it. What's up, guys? It is the Bad Wolf, and we're going to be talking about the Department of State Travel Division canceling people's passports mid-flight, mid-trip, on the trip in another country, or even maybe right here, right now. Now, we've talked about the fact that they can cancel. This is why I tell people don't abuse your passport, book, card, privileges, etc. as a national. And well, nobody should be abusing them anyway, no matter what. Okay? Okay. Um, because I told you they can cancel, they can cut your shit off. And if they can do that, it's a privilege. It's a benefit. It is not a God-given or inherent right. It also means you're not in charge. It means that is something that they provide from their will and effort, not something that must be given and that we have 100% right to. Because if it was 100% right, what he's talking about is that the government is not making a true national ID for the state citizen, which is something they wouldn't be able to cancel, take away from you. It also would help you to be able to prove who you are in court. It would limit the state's jurisdiction and the government's and things of that nature, which we do ask for in our explanatory statements. But they don't feel that they need to make one because not enough people know about that and they're not asking for it. But yeah, okay, now back to your regular scheduled program. So with the driver's license, with the passport, these are benefits that they give, and they are the best document of identification that is available, but that also they can control. The state citizen should be provided with a national ID. They don't want to do it because that is something that they couldn't take from us. They couldn't cancel. And unless I miss my guess, that also should, if it was a real thing, and maybe it is for high class rollers out there. If it is, let me know. But it should allow you to travel and leave the United States, same way as a passport does. But I digress. Welcome to the world of education and informational purposes only from your favorite non-belligerent, non-combatant, treaty of the United States, Lord of Levitica, private judge, the Bad Wolf, now the man in black. I wouldn't be surprised if they watch my videos too. Everybody does. Now, let's get into it. So, apparently, they're cutting people off and not giving them notice. That to me seems like a violation or false lawsuit, something. How are you going to be on vacation and they don't send you a letter or a text or a call or hug or a reach around or anything to let you know that you're on borrowed time? You may be stuck in a whole nother country. So let's take a look at what we got going on here. Um, there's an article. There's numerous articles now on it, but you guys haven't heard a lot, which is why the Bad Wolf does his very best and damnedest, damned if you do, damned if you don't, to bring you guys what in the world is going on in the world. Now, of course, if you guys enjoy my videos, and you like how I get down, because I'm always down to blaze a pound, check me out on Badwolf Unrestricted. Badwolf Unrestricted. 3 times for marketing purposes. Badwolf Unrestricted on YouTube. Usually a little subscribe button will pop up at the end of the video. Join. Be so kind. Please rewind. Join me on my other channel. Need to get that one off the ground. I don't get enough donations. YouTube cut back some of the money they pay people, or maybe it was just me. I don't know. But I do know, well, anyway, that's politics. We'll leave that alone. We don't like to hear. Yeah. But the other channel, yeah, I talk about all kind of stuff. Basically, almost nothing is off the table. Relationships, advice. We go in on males, we go in on females, we go in on the law, politics, all that. Everybody can get it. But let's get into the video. You gonna make it do the thing? Make it do the thing. Okay, there we go. All right, so shot goes out to Lauren Feather, fair use, et cetera, blah, 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 the normal standard things. All right, because looks like she's the travel writer and editor who put it together over at thetravel.com. So shot goes out to them. Fair use, all the other good stuff, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's get into it.
Over the past few weeks, travelers from the United States have faced a number of new warnings and obstacles when it comes to traveling both domestically and internationally. From the TSA's new $45 fee coming in February to a senator's newly proposed ban rule that could strip many Americans of their U.S. passports, there's a lot currently going on in the U.S. travel sector. Now, another hurdle has appeared, an almost unheard of passport hazard that other American travelers themselves have recently faced. Imagine arriving at an overseas destination, U.S. passport in hand, only to be immediately detained, held, and told the document isn't valid before being deported back to America. That's what has recently happened to a handful of Americans, some of whom have told their stories and issued warnings to other U.S. travelers, because anyone with an American passport could find themselves in the same situation without even knowing until they get off the plane. Remove ads. American travelers have issued warnings over mysteriously canceled passports, one of whom was left detained abroad and deported. U.S. passport on an American flag. Credit, via Shutterstock. Multiple Americans have fallen victim to a travel nightmare that began once they landed in their overseas destination. The travelers had flown to different countries, only to be told by immigration officials on arrival that their U.S. passports weren't valid. Unbeknownst to the American travelers, their passports had been canceled without their knowledge or consent. Some have shared their experiences on social media and have issued warnings to other Americans that they, too, are at risk of the same situation. One traveler, named Parker Anderson, recently posted a warning to other travelers on TikTok, seen below, after his ordeal. He said he flew 24 hours all the way to Thailand, but was denied entry and deported, all because of his U.S. passport. Remove ads. The American system is failing you in a way you don't even know about, Parker began in the video. He explained in his clip that customs agents said his passport had been flagged as lost or stolen. On December 28, me and my girlfriend flew from Miami, Florida, to Doha, Qatar, to Bangkok, Thailand. Upon arrival, I go into immigration, and I'm told my passport was flagged as lost or stolen by Interpol, Parker said. Parker continued telling his stressful experience, explaining that he was denied entry to Thailand and detained until he returned to the U.S. Here I am, about as far away from the U.S. as I could be with an invalid passport flagged by international police. I'm told I am not allowed to enter the country, and I'm detained until I'm back on U.S. soil. Remove ads. However, the mystery in all this is that he himself had never reported his passport missing. Above all, his passport's cancellation without his knowing technically shouldn't be possible because of the information required to report the document lost or stolen. The only way it can be marked as lost or stolen is if you, yourself, mark it as lost. You need your social security number, all of your personal information to mark it as lost. I did not do that, Parker explained. The instructions provided by the U.S. Department of State for reporting a lost or stolen passport also back this up. To report their document lost or stolen, U.S. passport holders have to fill out an online form, by mail, or in person while applying for a new one. The form in question asks for private information, some of which shouldn't be easy for others to acquire, including name, date of birth, social security number, address, passport number if known. The amount of sensitive information required to flag a passport as missing or stolen, and apply for a new one, should mean that only the passport owner themselves can do so. Yet it has happened to Parker, and he was initially clueless as to how or why it happened. Remove ads. U.S. State Department website's homepage. Credit, via Shutterstock. He also said he had previously used the same passport to book 6 international flights, 2 of which he took without any issues, deepening the mystery. This is not okay. We spoke to the airlines, and they said it's not their job to check our passports, Parker continued. Why is that not checked when getting on an international flight? The responsibility of an airline is to ensure the safety of people getting on a flight, and they're not even doing a full check of your passport? How can they say they're keeping us safe?
Right. So you want to see who I am? I have to have it, but you're telling me their system doesn't check, even though it's a international flight and you're leaving from here, so it's federal based, connected right to them, and you're telling me that feature doesn't exist? They can't see that it's been canceled before you leave? Somehow it's being canceled. Tons of people's are being canceled. That's an internal, those are all internal problems. It's not our, it's our problem being pushed on us, but there's nothing we can do about that. You don't find that suspicious?
Safe? Fortunately, Parker said he was back at home and safe at the time he was recording his video. Even so, he pointed out that his experience was extremely traumatizing and warned other travelers that they, too, could fall victim to the same scenario. Remove ads. I hope you understand just how dangerous this could be. This was one of the most traumatizing things to happen in my and my girlfriend's lives, Parker said. We are financially damaged, emotionally scarred. It was a horrible experience, but we're back home and safe. My concern is someone a lot more vulnerable could go somewhere a lot scarier by themselves and be stuck in a situation you cannot come home from. I'm not making this video to complain about what happened to me. I'm making it to spread awareness that this could happen to you, and you could have no idea it's going to happen until you're in a dangerous situation, he concluded. After getting home, Parker said he began trying to find out how his passport was reported as lost or stolen, but he didn't get any immediate answers. He said he contacted several government departments and spent hours on the phone, but was left with no information about what happened. Remove ads. At this point, I have no one to contact. I am resorting to emailing and sending letters in the mail to local and state representatives, and I'm almost at a dead end and don't know what to do about it. I am at a loss at this point. Parker did eventually find out the cause of his passport's cancellation, but he was still left with many questions. In a later TikTok update this month, Parker said he managed to track down the culprit. As it turns out, the error was tracked to his local passport agency.
Duh.
They tell me that they honestly don't even know what happened. It was a freak mistake, a clerical error, somebody typed something in wrong, they don't know when it happened, who did it, no more information.
That's
He
convenient.
said he then got his new passport expedited and asked about reimbursement for his trip. However, the staff at the agency, whom he praised for their assistance, said the most they could offer him there and then was his passport being expedited, but that he could take up any refund requests with the State Department. In a later follow-up video where Parker answered questions about his story, he explained that there is no possible way to check if a passport has been cancelled or reported stolen/missing. There is no way for you to do this. As of right now, you cannot check whether or not your passport is 100% valid, he said. Remove ads.
Okay. It goes on to say, interestingly, Parker's canceled passport mystery isn't an isolated incident. It also happened to another traveler named Marcy. She says she faced a similar horror after flying from New York to Rome, Italy. Yeah. Now, I could play this segment, but it's going to read out basically the same way as um, Parker's did. Same exact thing. So this is not an isolated incident. And then it says here another person this has happened to. But hers was confiscated when she arrived in the U.S. after visiting Spain. Viewers were horrified over travelers' avoided passport stories. Racked up 3 million to 1.7 million respective views. This is crazy. Now, of course, this doesn't happen to everybody, but this was a thought that, like, this shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't be happening. The combination of what it takes, unless they have some stupid switch where you can just type one cancel, cancel. Maybe it was an AI glitch. Maybe it was a bug. Don't know. How long has this been happening? How long has this been happening that before the time of the internet and being able to share their experiences and stories, was this happening? Now, we'd have to assume because of the embarrassment of this, they're going to put somebody on it to fix it, but they definitely didn't come out with a news story saying, hey, this might have happened. So let's take a look and see if there is anything we can find that allows us to maybe check our passport's current validity. So what we're finding so far is with the state passport department, you can check the application status if it's in an application. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. It says while you cannot look up a passport's status with just a number, you can check on your own request by providing your last name, date of birth, and 4 digits of your social number. So it just said passport status.state.gov, but then it says application status. It's not the same thing. So they literally don't have a immediate portal. Okay, I'm gonna try to put in my stuff here just to see if maybe that gives you a type of indicator. So, application status not available. So, no, the application status window that they have is not going to help you. You can subscribe for email updates, but that's only on the status of your passport application once again. So, all right, so that's it. So, as of right now, we don't have any clear resolution. I guess you could try to call them, but they've basically made it so you can't talk to a normal agent. So, welcome to the wild world of wacky sports, where your passport may not be good. The system may have glitched yo shit, and you have a 95% chance of not being able to talk to anybody or get anything done until you get back here. Now, if you're out far enough and they let you, because when you're in another country, they don't have to let you do nothing. You may be able to go to an embassy. Always try to request that, and they may be able to, well, they will be able to help you if you can get to an embassy. But a lot of times, the embassy is not right there at the airport. So even from the embassy or from the airport to the embassy, they don't have to give you that courtesy. You do not have rights and freedoms there. It is a nicety or a luxury. They don't have to. You could disappear. They're not going to spend their time and money. You're not one of their people. So people can say they don't like United States or America, la 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 la, all they want. But if you're from here, this is where you have the most of anything. No other place in the world is going to give you more freedoms and rights than here. So that's it. Be aware that as you travel, you may be the unlucky winner of prize number. Your passport doesn't work when you're out and abroad. Don't forget to hit that bell and like and subscribe. And my join the Bad Wolf Unrestricted, my other YouTube channel. Join me over there. Won't cost you anything. You might laugh a lot. You might learn some things. And you might be like, oh, Mr. Wolf, I so loved your other channel, but this one, you're just too much. Tear gone, said no more. But you'll find it entertaining because that's what that channel's all about. So thanks, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. Travel safe. And I will be bringing you guys some more videos. So hold on to your hats or toques or toupees. Don't don't get punched. Don't be a boxer wearing a toupee and get punched in your medulla oblongata. Talk to you guys later.